Hello. Um, Sorry, I had a little bit of like scuff again, but let me lower the volume because it's kind of loud. So yeah, hopefully everyone can hear me. Uh, yeah. Also, I was playing Rivals earlier, and I just was flummoxed by. um, I did 72,000 as a healer. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Um, yeah. Yeah, but here we are again for another night of focus on the heart. Still on the Seyka route. I'm not sure if I'm nearing the end of it yet. I feel like I've been doing pretty well. I'll lower the music a little more. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I hope everyone's night is good. Um, but yeah, I was just like a bit flummoxed earlier because of the game I had played earlier on Rivals. Just very intense game. But I'm happy to wind down, focus on the heart, and without further ado, let's get things started. Thank you so much. Let me just go ahead and instead of starting it, I will load it. I will not make the same mistake I did last time, where I just started the game and it ended up starting me all over again. Alrighty. Yeah, last we left off, Seika and Aloy shared a nice little intimate moment where they woke up in each other's arms uh, a little bit by accident. It was very cute. The art was very pretty. But now we're getting kind of right back on track with them trying to hunt down the I now forget what they called it, the Dread Maw, I believe. I can't wait to see it, and I'm actually kind of intrigued by the fact that it's a completely different machine than the one that seemingly had almost drowned Aloy. Unless that's what we named the machine that almost like killed Aloy, because she said that the machine that Seika had like encountered, the one that attacked her ship, does have a designation and is in her focus, whereas the one that Aloy encountered has no name. So that's interesting and scary, and I can't wait to see it. But the other one is the Kraken spike, right? Because I kept saying it. The thing that drowned Aloy had to be like a Kraken's thing, like right? And I guessed wrong. Also, going back to the whole museum and the submersible, I did go back to look up the name of that entire incident, and it's the Titan submersible. That was what it was called. I had completely forgotten what happened. I just kept calling it the tin can. Whoopsie. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, I'm getting distracted, but I figure I say a couple things. First, I just ramble. Anyhow, let's get right back into it. After a quiet, hastily concocted breakfast, the pair pack up and prepare to leave. Ayla usually prefers silence. It helps her collect her thoughts and prepare for any trouble ahead. But this is different. The lack of conversation between them feels heavy, so oppressive it's claustrophobic. Seika is focused on her skiff, but even with her back to her, Ayla can tell by the hunch of her shoulders that she's tense. Ayla fumbles with her gear, cursing under her breath as she catches her finger in the straps. This isn't going to work. She can't continue in silence anymore. Maybe discussing the mission ahead will help somehow? Ease the tension that is slowly building between them? Okay, I'm guessing another decision is coming up right now. Ayla clears her throat as she glances over her shoulder at Seika. I've been thinking. Whatever this machine is, it's going to be near impossible to track if it spends any amount of time underwater. Our focuses can only scan so far. But I do know of something we could try that could improve our odds. She turns around, surprised to find Seika still has her back to her. Seika, what's going on, girlie? I mean, y'all have had no problem blushing around each other or anything like that? So did she spot something in the water? Has she had some kind of epiphany? Maybe she's still feeling kind of embarrassed about, rolling into Aloy's arms and waking up together. She did say earlier something about like how there was like a certain distance that Seyka like this kind of wall that Seyka was putting up because her time as like a Quen Marine to some degree makes her feel almost like not so much like she doesn't deserve any of it or rather so much that it's the life that doesn't belong to her because her entire life was designated to be a certain thing, and now with the weight of all these new responsibilities and new experiences and Aloy herself, it's just kind of hard for her. Hmm. We'll see. We'll see. Mm. Yeah. Also, going back to the Titan submersible, I'm sorry. I just want to say one more thing. I kind of just love that the writers put that in because, like, yes, Horizon is all about just looking back and being like, wow, rich people suck. Like, why did these people? Why were these such selfish, incompetent people, and with this much power? And why did they do these horrible things? But yeah, now going back, because I'm sorry, I was laughing my ass off when I realized it was about the Titan submersible. The tension in her has been mounting all morning, winding tighter and tighter, a slow but torturous draw of a bowstring. It's only Aoi's uncanny attentiveness towards Seyka that lets her see the slight tremor to her shoulders, a single shudder that ripples through the crumbling resolution of her steadfast form. I didn't see one when I was here before, but there should be a tall neck in the area. We can find it and override it. We should be able to. Enough. Oh, okay! Seika's sharp tone cuts through the tension like a knife, causing Aloy to physically take a step back. Her mouth snaps shut as she stares at Seyka wide eyed. The other woman swiftly turns to face her, brows curved low over a pair of dark, frustration filled eyes as she takes several quick strides and pokes Aloy firmly in the chest. I've tried to keep myself calm, tried to tell myself that I need to deal with this threat before it gets out of hand, but I just can't stand by and pretend everything's fine between us. Oh my gosh. Also, let me lower. I don't know why everything's so loud to me. Oh my, oh my. Forget the beep. I can't help that the smoke alarms like to talk to each other. They have batteries, I promise. But oh my gosh. Okay, so yes, this is about the fact that they've been just kind of flirting, sort of, kinda, and they just refuse to touch the subject. Watch you act like everything is fine between us. You know I don't like secrets, Aloy. And judging by those at Legacy's landfall have been saying, you've been keeping something pretty damn big from me. Oh, is this about the Kraken spike? No, but she just said that she got. Well, she didn't tell her that she almost died. She didn't tell her that. She said that she was attacked, but not that she was almost murdered. Is that what it is? She's glaring now, nostrils flaring as she takes her hand away and clenches it into a fist. Ailey reflexively steps away from her, only to feel her come back into contact with the side of her sunwing. Oh, only to feel her back come into contact with the side of her sunwing. She's cornered. Ooh, that's scary. Very scary. Also, I managed to download my VODs for the last two ones. I'll probably set it up and like upload them to a YouTube channel, but I'm not sure if that's normal to just upload the whole VOD. I don't know how to edit these videos, and I don't have the tech for it. I'll find out. I'm very slow at this, but I keep cutting in between the tension. It's just like this is yee Aloy. Just you know what, Aloy? Jump on the sunwing and fly. No, that's a bad idea. That's horrible. Don't do that, boys and girls, and non-binary folks. I was about to say the thing from Skate Infinity, bros, hoes, and non-binary. uh, I forget how the saying goes. A non-binary hose. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. That does help. That does help me because I don't know how to edit it. I can't make it punchy, so. Well, I mean, I could, but I'll try. But yeah, thank you so much. No, she's crying. How dare you, artist? Why would you do this? Why would you do this to me? There's tears in her eyes. I can't deal with that, and neither can Aloy. Oh my gosh. Is it true? All that time I spent fighting against a living ancestor? Fighting against a monster that tried to take my sister from me? Was I fighting alongside another one the whole time? What? I'm sorry, excuse me? Oh, was that never addressed? No, but they called her living ancestor before and Burning Shores, but was Seyka there when it happened? Because I know a couple of different people at Landfall went and looked at her and was like, "You're one of them, aren't you?" The like, cause of Ted Farrow. What? No, but yeah, I don't think did Seyka ever. I thought it was about every any. I didn't think it would go there at all. Yeah, Aloy, what happened to telling people the truth about stuff that you're like a clone? I mean, that's how you sneak that into a conversation. I don't know, but Seika, I mean, Aloy has talked about it in a conversation before, but no, don't you dare try to apologize your way out of this. I want answers, please. This isn't some kind of small problem that can be brushed away. All that time we spent together, Seika turns away, folding her arms defensively across her chest. All of this made me realize I don't know who you really are. I never did. Like I fell for an idea, not a person. Oh my gosh, no, of course not. It's like one of her least favorite things. And I do like the writers, like when she arrived at Landfall, her main thing was just like, please don't call me a living ancestor. Please don't do this. I'm just a regular person. I mean, Aloy already hated being like the anointed of the Nora. So of course, the bigger the role gets and the more she gets put on the pedestal, living ancestor is probably as bad as it gets. She hates that, and I don't know. Like Seika and her had a whole adventure, and they definitely have a connection. Mm, I like it, and I do understand why Seika would be like, because considering how they what happened with like Landra, and like considering how the Quen like center the whole thing around living ancestors and all of this, right? The art is so pretty. It's gorgeous. And like also just the little like details. They look at them. They're both blinking. They're still like and look, she doesn't have as much tears anymore, but there's like still like a tear and like the tear in her eyes, the shading, the ambience. It's just great. All of it's so good. Ugh, I feel bad. Seika. Seika turns back to her, eyes burning with anger yet still glistening with tears. The sight alone makes Aloy's stomach twist with anxiety and fear. She'd seen Seika angry, but never had it directed at her with this much ferocity before. She swallows. Well, don't you have anything to say? Or are you just going to keep hiding things from me? Ooh, ouch. Thank you! Thank you for coming at least for a little while. Have a nice night! And I will, thanks. Um, oh gosh, now here's a decision. There wasn't time. I had a battle to win. The truth is complicated. Okay, I mean, wait, let me go back to what she was saying. Let me see. History. Well, do you have anything to say or are you gonna keep hiding things from me? I mean, it is a difficult conversation to have, and it's not like Aloy hasn't had this conversation before. But this time, this was a little more fraught because Seika has more history with the whole living ancestor stuff and like Londra and stuff, and like with like people like Erend or Varl, who don't have that kind of baggage attached to it and are just kind of being introduced to what's the possibilities and what the truth of the world is. It's crazy to talk about, but it's something they had to do in order to like inform people about stuff. I mean, does Alva know Aloy's a clone? I don't know if the whole team at the you know the base know the whole story behind Aloy. Like I do know, I think Aaron knows, and Varl I think knew. I still can't believe they killed Varl. Like I don't think it was necessary to kill him. It wasn't necessary. Anyway, I'm getting derailed. But I'm gonna go ahead with the truth is complicated because it is. It kind of is. It's a little weird. The accusation stings, but Aloy can't blame Seyka for the sharpness of her words. She's right. She should have told her before. She just never knew how to do it. How do you even start a conversation like this? She chews her lip, finally meeting Seyka's gaze and taking a deep breath. Yeah, thank you for the conversation, like for the confirmation, because I knew that they knew. I need to replay the game again because I'm still replaying Horizon Zero Dawn. I just haven't done it a little bit. Like I haven't finished it yet, and I need to replay Forbidden West. If they all know, then Aloy's had this conversation. Oh my gosh, no! Don't look at me with like that. She chews her lip, finally meeting Seyka's gaze and taking a deep breath. Ah, thank you. So Aaron didn't know first. Okay, yeah. So yeah, like Aloy probably told Varl first, and Varl obviously told Zoe because Varl and Zoe just talked to each other. Because when they met Beta, the whole clone thing had to come out. Like it wasn't a twin thing; they were just clones. Uh, no, I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. I promise. You deserve that much. Um, it's a long story, and it might not make sense, but Seyka waves her off, shaking her head as she fixes Aloy with a determined look. I can handle it. I promise. Aloy takes a deep breath. I'm so sorry. I know Seyka probably can handle it. I just think it would be really funny if Aloy tells her, and then it's just the Sunny at Philadelphia like title card where Seyka could not handle it. Donna. She needed some time. Oh my gosh. Aloy takes a deep breath. Okay, those you spoke to, they're not wrong exactly, but they're not right either. It's more than that. Before I tell you anything else, though, I promise you that I'm nothing like Landra. I'm not over 1,000 years old, I'm not all powerful, and I'm not a monster like he was. You might have heard your people call me a reincarnated ancestor, which is closer to the truth. How'd they find out again? It had to be Ted Farrell. It was like some stuff with Ted Farrell. Seyka folds her arms, nodding for her to continue, in spite of her lingering frustration. Seyka is clearly entranced. The truth is that, there's a machine here in our world. An incredibly powerful machine. Like Nemesis? Aloy furrows her brow thoughtfully. Not exactly. Her name's Gaia. She was made by the Old Ones, or Ancestors, to rebuild the world after it was destroyed. The Time of Ashes, your people call it. She did her job for hundreds of years, but then things went wrong. Nemesis sent out a signal and disrupted her programming, and in an effort to repair the damage it did, she created, me. There's a beat of silence. Aloy continues, trying her best to maintain eye contact as she watches Seyka's expression intently. There is anger there still, but it is slowly being overshadowed by slight confusion. See, there you go. Like people, yeah, anyone who had like those focuses probably knew everyone and just didn't. They didn't have all the information because their focuses were older and had corrupted files. Also, some people probably had like a vested interest to read into it the way they wanted for their own interest. But yeah, And like, yeah, that makes sense. I really need to replay Forbidden West. It's been about a while. It's been a year. It's been a year since I played it. But also, I'm very impressed by how much you remember. Oof. I know that sounds odd, but bear with me, please. She created me using the essence of her creator, Elizabeth Sobek. There are ruins across the land here, places locked to anyone except her. I was made to open those doors, figure out how to fix things. I didn't choose this. I didn't want this, but it was what I was made to do. If I fail, the fate of the world. Oh, come on! A guttural, menacing roar rips through the air, the ground shaking beneath their feet. Both women turn, eyes wide, as a machine of immense size launches itself out of the water and barrels toward them. It's here! They both dive out of the way, Ayleigh's Sunwing barely able to make it off the ground and out of the machine's reach. Ayleigh corrects course toward Seyka, who readies her sword. Ha! It's stuck on our turf. We got him now. It jumped out of the water toward you. I don't know if you should be confident. They fall out of step as Seyka turns confidently to glare at the marooned machine. Okay, maybe it is marooned. Ayleigh stumbles to a stop too and follows her gaze. Why'd it jump out at you? Ah! Oh, is that a killer whale? Is that a machine inspired by a killer whale? That's fun. Fun fact, anyone who watching, the killer whales do capsize ships. They'll attack ships. Most, like, I think, I forget which creator, what is her name? There's a creator that I follow who has stickers about orcas because more than often enough, orcas will attack vessels that like for like oil stuff. So so yeah, like orcas, killer whales are kind of cool. If a bit scary, they will fuck you up. That's cool. I like this design. I like this how dynamic it is. The fact that it marooned itself means that it really wants y'all dead. This is fun. They both see the metal monstrosity in its full glory. Its body is massive, a giant trunk topped by purple armor plates, and crowned with fins that end in lethal points. Its underbelly glows with a thick layer of cables stretching from head to tail. Oh my gosh, and its mouth is full of like grinding gears. Ugh. When it opens to the jagged, sharp lines of its jaw, the roar that sounds rattles them both to the bone. It's plain to Ayleigh why this thing favored deep water. Only that space could accommodate its overwhelming mass. But then it shifts its weight. Dirt flies up on either side of the machine, kicked up by the whir of knives lining both of its front fins, latching its bladed appendages into the ground. It begins to drag itself towards them with a speed at odds with its girth. See, I already knew, like, Seyka's like, it's marooned, and like, oh, it's our advantage now. No, it wouldn't throw itself at you if it couldn't do something about it. Then again, I mean, tide rippers also throw themselves onto the beach, but they don't like go all the way out. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. Seyka's furiously triumphant glare slips. The machine is far from trapped. Keep moving! Right. Ayleigh raises a hand to her focus. If they're stuck with this thing on land, at least it can't escape and they can get much needed data on it. Ooh. The saws lining the machine's fins flash in the sun as it readies to swipe at Seyka. Terrifying. Seyka? Not how Ayleigh would say that. Whatever data her focus uploads, Ayleigh does not see it. All she can see is that the machine's hulking mass rearing up at the approaching Seyka, ready to slice and crush her. Ayleigh nocks an arrow and fires at the joint between the machine's fin and torso. The arrow strikes the fin itself, chipping but not breaking it off. But it does succeed in distracting the machine, which turns his attention to Aloy. It alters course so Seyka's next blow strikes against its upper armor, another great chip falling dully to the ground. The machine roars again, louder. Seyka and Aloy clap hands over the ears. The sound subsides, but the machine leaves its mouth wide open, and from within they can see the darkened tube of a purge water cannon. Ah! A jet of it rockets out of the machine's mouth, barreling toward Aloy. It skirts her to her side, striking her arm and sending her weapon flying into the brush. Seyka goes for her sword, but the machine fires off another blast of purge water. It aims too high, but the jet lands squarely against Seyka's weapon, jerking her arm back painfully, and sending the sword to join Aloy's bow. In place of her weapon, pain radiates from where the jet hit true. Uh-oh. Options dwindling fast, Aloy turns, sprinting to the side as the machine opens its massive maw once more. Seyka mirrors her, sprinting in the opposite way. Aloy curses under her breath. If Seyka gets in trouble so far away, how is Aloy supposed to help only her spear? Seyka weaves an uneven path, fumbling all the while to ready her rope caster. The machine roars, enraged, and fires another jet that only just misses Seyka. It continues firing at Seyka with abandon. Torrent after torrent keeps Seyka from setting up a clean shot, but she keeps moving and continues evading each blast. Although some sail by close enough to send her hair whipping around her. Ooh, I like that imagery, like just whoosh, you know? Come on, big guy, stay nice and distracted for me. She works her focus to once again scan the machine. For a moment, she fears the machine eludes even her most updated focus's data archives. But then, finally, some hope. Seyka! It has elemental sacs under its stomach. The front fins are the only thing that keep it mobile on land. We need to take out its eyes, too. Are you sure they're even working? It's a pretty lousy shot. Aloy's focus shows minimal damage to the machine, just proof of its encounter with the Quen fleet and the few hits she and Seyka had landed. I'm sure. Alright, stay still. She fires wildly with her rope caster. The bolt lodges itself into the complicated metal bits of its powerful jaw. One anchor hasn't been enough to tether the bile gut, and is not enough for this new machine. It closes its great mouth over the bolt, and they both hear the sound of groaning metal. It tries to close again, only for the same blood-curdling sound to fill the air. The machine gives an outraged cry, and in a series of lumbering movements turns for the water. Oh no, it's leaving! Oh no, you don't! Her rope caster bolt immediately pops out of the ground, but Seyka holds fast to the rope. Without her sword, all she can do is hold on, fists visibly shaking around the cable. For all of Seyka's quaking rage, the machine barely pays her any mind, shuffling hurriedly to the lapping waves. Seyka! Oh my gosh, she is going to get pulled into the water. You are not that strong. You're not Wonder Woman. I can't let it get away! Aloy rushes to her side and wraps her arms around her. Aloy's hands find Seyka's, grasp firmly at her wrists. She's crying again? Not like this. We have it! I had to do this. My sister, my people, they'll never know peace. And neither will you. I know, Seyka. I know. Water covers half of the machine, churning white and frothy as it heads deeper and deeper. It'll be back on its turf soon, with them floating helplessly along with it. Seyka, let go. We have to regroup. I have data on it now. I'm not going to watch you get pulled under. Let's go. Oh! With a pained yell, Seyka relents, the cable slipping fast from her open fingers. That's wild. You're really, really strong if you were able to keep it from going the whole way for just a few seconds. Seyka should do those strongman competitions. So should Aloy, though. Both of these women have been way too strong in these games. Not to say you can't be strong, but they show some superhuman strength sometimes, you know? With a pained yell, Seyka relents, the cable slipping fast from her open fingers. Ayla can see her ready to fall into disappointment and self-disgust and quickly ushers her further away from the shoreline. Seyka's tense as steel where Aloy is tucked under her arm, but she does not let them stop until they are back under cover, among the brush where their weapons disappeared into. The lapping waves swallow the machine. It doesn't return. For a protracted moment, the only sound is her own panting. Seyka takes a step and fumbles. She lets the clumsy movement send her to her knees, head bowed. After a brief moment of respite, Seyka clambers back to her feet. There's fire in her eyes as her jaw clenches in frustration. Damn it! It was right there! I could have had it! We were winning! I don't understand how I was able to do that. It was as if it wasn't going after us directly, but disarming us. How? She shakes her head. Seyka hurries down the beach, Aloy keeping pace with her. It can't have gone far. There's a way to track it. Get back here and face us, you coward! She yells at the open water as if trying to will the machine back to her with insults. Seyka, we tried that before, but it didn't work. Something like this has the capability to... Something like this that has the capability to move so fast underwater, tracking it is nearly impossible. Then we try again. I can't risk having that monster being free to go on a rampage. I know, but there's another way. If we can find a tall neck, it'll help us get a better lay of the land. Let's gather our supplies and go for that, okay? We can figure out tactics on the way. Water break. Seyka sighs, shoulders slumping in defeat as she stares silently out to sea for a moment. Yeah, I guess you're right. Running off after it might just make things worse. She glances at Aloy with a sad smile. We really do balance each other out, huh? She turns away before Aloy can respond, eyeing her skiff. By some miracle, it had escaped relatively unscathed. The tidal surge caused by the Dreadmaw pushing it further down the beach and out of harm's way. Aloy watches in confusion as Seyka struggles to push the craft back towards the water. You know, we could always take my Sunwing. It'd be easier to find the It'd be easier to find the tall neck from the air. Blah blah blah. I don't go blah blah blah. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I love tall necks. They're so cool. She sees Seyka's shoulders tense briefly before she resumes her task. I know, but I'd rather go on my skiff. It'll be easier if we split up a bit. Covers more ground. Are you sure, Seyka? Or was it how I predicted and the reveal was something more than you could handle? You said you could handle it and then you're like, shit, I can't handle that. I can't handle that. I need some space. Like, the freaking Dreadmaw just had to, like, interrupt them. Just had to interrupt them before Aloy could have completely finished. But, like, man. We could try and finish the conversation. I know she, like, demanded things from her in the middle of their journey. But the thing is gone now. And yes, she's focused on that. But if she's going, like, I'd rather go on my skiff, it's probably because she's like, I need some space for a second to think. Alright, cool. Aloy fights down her disappointment. You wanted her arms around you? We know, Aloy. It's fine. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we need to finish the conversation. I can't go yet. Before I go, time to go. So I kind of want to try and finish the conversation that we were having. Because before the Dreadmaw rudely interrupted, we need to clarify some things about the clone stuff. I don't know if I can't go yet. I don't know, and there's before I go, but time to go is not what I want to say. So it's between can't go or before I go. Okay. 80. Yes, I'm gonna eeny miny mo it because I can't. Eeny miny mo catch the tiger by its tail. If you call it go eeny miny mo. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with I can't go yet. Ailey looks at her sunwing, but her mind is made up. She turns away, back towards Seyka. Seiko, wait! I know this is urgent, but you deserve to hear it. What is it? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. There's been so much in my life. I'm doing this wrong. What I mean is, let me start over. I'm sorry I wasn't open with you. I'm sorry about the secrets. It really never was my intention to keep things from you like that. For as long as I can remember, I wanted to just be Aloy. And finally I could be. I got lost in that experience. It felt like, well, like you said, when something feels right. That I should have put everything forward and trusted in however you handled everything. The last thing I'd ever want is to be another Laundra in your life. Seika's expression transforms from hesitance to quiet awe and fondness. You can never be another Laundra, Aloy. Creeps like Laundra don't have an ounce of honor to them, and he certainly never go so far out of his way to help others like you do. Like you've always done, in ways I can't even thank you. My whole life back home, it's always about secrets and who's allowed to know what. I, with you, I felt free too. Then I got scared that freedom was a lie this whole time. It's not, Seika, and it will never be again. It wasn't from the start, I suppose. I'd like to fight beside you again, if you'll have me. Just Aloy. Oh, for some reason, her calling her just Aloy makes me wonder if, like, if we do the Talana route, if the whole Aloy despite the Nora thing comes back up. Because I don't know why that just reminds me of that. Aloy despite the Aloy. Just Aloy, just. Ah! I do love this moment, it's very good. Wouldn't have it any other way. Let's put ourselves in an advantage first and find that tall neck. You're really set on finding this machine. Guess I can't really deny you that. Let's get going then. Seyka gives a solemn nod and turns her attention over to her skiff. Aloy summons her sunwing and scrambles on. She has one eye on the cables braided in front of her, the other on Seyka's preoccupied profile managing her beloved boat. The sunwing takes off, and the sudden surge demands all of Aloy's attention. Up in the sky again, Aloy begins her search. Alright, one second, I'm gonna drink some water. I'm sorry if you can hear me drinking. Alrighty. There has to be someone. There has to be one here around somewhere. There's a cauldron. I know there's a tall neck. But this place has been broken apart so much. It could be totally underwater. Her focus pings faintly. Aloy's head swivels, eyes finding the menacing husk of Laundra's Horus. What a horrible creation. If only that metal devil was underwater instead. Wait, that's it! The sunwing turns sharp. Her focus chimes, calling out from Aloy's position in the sky to the churning sea. Aloy sees it at last, tracing a clumsy circuit in the water, resembling a giant bit of metal seaweed swaying with the tide, crowned by a great silver disc glinting in the sunlight. Again, just need to applaud the imagery. I just love that. I can see that so clearly in my mind's eye. That's so pretty. There you are. On one of the prongs of its spine, she sees tangled fabric adorned with an unmistakable ornate braiding characteristic of the Quen. Of course, the storm that disrupted the Quen probably sent some of them barreling into a tall neck. It wouldn't be the first time one got completely knocked off course on land and in the sea. Seyka, I found it! I found the tall neck! That didn't take too long out of our hunt. And the bit of time it did take will be well worth it, I promise. Want help getting up? Send the coordinates my way. You just love dragging me up off the ground, huh? I'm heading over to you. Alright, be careful. Careful isn't what either of us signed up for. And speaking of dangerous, sure, you and your overgrown metal bird can bring me up on that aerial death trap you're so fond of. The sunwing circles around the tall neck, drifting along its unharried path. Aloy peers around, and even over the splashing of the waves and the tall neck's laborious footfalls, she hears Seyka's skiff before she sees her, bobbing along on the water to their location. Seyka steers the skiff close and casts the line to catch at the many protrusions lining the tall neck's leg. It tugs the skiff along even as Seyka shuts it down and readies to ascend. Aloy carefully descends to hover close to the skiff. It takes some maneuvering, but soon she's hauling Seyka up onto the machine. She settles into her usual spot behind Aloy, and suddenly, Aloy feels far more secure than she had moments before. Cute. But also like she might fall over at any moment. Yee, that's what's gonna happen when you have a crush. Don't worry, you'll feel much more comfortable once you guys are settled in as a couple. Will things ever make sense around Seyka? Yes, it'll eventually make sense. But right now you're having little little gay thoughts, and like this is like the first time you're having feelings. You're gonna feel queasy and weird and uneasy, and it's gonna be normal, Aloy. You're gonna be fine, Aloy. I love the blush. She's so cute. The art is again so good. I love the hands. Easy, Aloy. Can't get us both killed before the machine even has a chance. Yes, that is the priority here. Stay alive. She urges the sunwing up back to the top of the tall neck, bypassing as many ledges and moving parts. In a way, that's becoming increasingly familiar. Yeah, so many tall necks. Aloy keeps the sunwing at an even pace with the tall neck, and the two leap onto its head. Ooh, we're on the top of the tall neck. I almost called it the sun neck, because I just was combining sunwing with tall neck. The two only take a moment of respite, never fully relaxing as the tall neck sways gently with every footfall. Seyka peers around from atop the towering machine, adjusting her footing as it marches on. She doesn't bother masking her wonderment, even as she gives a perimeter a wide berth. Whoa, alright, not much different standing on a boat, I suppose. I see your point about finding this thing. She revolves slowly in one place and lets out a shaky laugh. Legacy's light, what a view! I might not mind coming up here when we're not hunting a deadly machine. There's so much to see. Her slow circuit brings her back to watching Aloy carefully. So, what happens now? Now I override it and get its data on the area. Aloy strays into place and draws her spear. This is a routine for her now, but Seyka watches in open fascination, eyes wide in a kind of awe that's at once fearful and excited. The wonder of someone who knows they've seen more than they should. So, this has been your whole life? Seeking out and obtaining whatever information you want whenever you want it, and can find it? The last of the data uploads, and they are tinted blue as a pulse of information and energy emits from the tall neck. Pretty much. I wouldn't be here if I hadn't done exactly that. It's no different from what you've done, and what you have the right to do. Whatever you need or want. I've only ever done this when necessary. I was a good Marine. And you still are, Seyka. And you still are, Seyka. Information isn't supposed to be forbidden. It's supposed to be empowering. I guess. Seyka pulls her downcast gaze to her feet, to the watery horizon. I'll feel better when we stop this thing once and for all. Can this data help us do that? Here's what my focus turned up. Data pops up all around them, generating highlight after highlight of the area around them. All new points of interest to investigate. And the favorite hunting grounds of the Dreadmaw. Looks like everything we suspected was right. It likes deep water, and especially running parallel to the shores that way. She points at its favorite haunts. My people sailed right into it. That's the fastest course through the burning shores to get back home from landfall. It's not a huge difference, but if they want to get us back as soon as possible with everything they learned from the excavation to end all the starvation, they need that route. And if they want to make it back at all, we need that machine destroyed. We need to do something differently. It's big and it's tough. None of the blows we've landed have done any meaningful damage. Oh, you know what would be great is one of those what was those like one of those things from Forbidden West, those like spears that you throw out, those explosive spears, those do so much damage. Or you need like some kind of weaponry. Like anything like that would fall off like one of those Ravagers or Thunderjaw. We have to fight it enough to actually make it vulnerable. Aloy nods. But I don't think it should be too draining for us. I have an idea. Excuse me. Excuse me again? I'm burping. I'm burping a lot. I better out than in, as Shrek always said. Oh my goodness. But I don't think it should be too draining for us. I have an idea. I have another weapon in my supply bag on the Sunwing. It's called a Shredder Gauntlet. Oh, yeah, that's good. It'd be perfect for getting his armor off. That's it! But it keeps aiming for our weapons. It could knock it right into the water and be lost for good. That actually is a very interesting thing about the Dreadmaw. Because some machines kind of do these, like a lot of the machines that we face tend, like, aside from like the AIs, like Nemesis or Hades, or even, was it Hephaestus? Yes, also Hephaestus. Those machines, like, they're not machines, but the AI have been smarter. But it is an interesting concept to have a machine actually have tactics to what it's doing. Not like some route thing to, like, destroy you. Like, it's also, like, intelligent enough to, like, target what could damage it. But it keeps aiming for our weapons. It could knock it into the water and be lost for good. Which is why we need to coordinate our attacks. Remember taking down that horse? We both kept attacking it, but you especially need to keep it busy. Just a few hits with my shredder and you'll be doing some serious damage to it. You can't exactly tether it down in the water, though. Don't worry. I'm a good shot. And even if I can't pin it down, these lodge pretty deep. Especially if you can get its armor off. Then of course there's the aftermath from the canister. Aloy's eyes light up. With startling sincerity, she thinks this may actually work. Looks like we have our battle plan. That's my signal to get back to the skiff. Time to do what we do best. Let's end this. Seyka marches to the edge of the tall neck. Jumping off just like that? I know you love helping me, but I'm a marine. I was swimming before I was walking, ancestor. Oh, okay. She gives a meaningful look that pierces to Aloy's core. Why did Seyka say that? Why does Aloy want to say something back? What have Aloy's actions been saying when she hasn't had a word for the feather-light thrill that confounds and delights her fluttering heart? Good luck up there. Just keep flying that thing like you were born for it, and we should be able to finish this thing once and for all. She gives a nod before diving off. Aloy does not hear her hit the water, but by the time she hurries over the edge, Seyka is paddling over to the skiff, still dragged along by its makeshift tether. I'm so sorry. This is not a critique, but I do love that you hear the sound effect of a splash, and yet But the word here, Aloy does not hear her hit the water. Which is also really fun. Divers can definitely dive into the water in a way that's almost soundless. And Seyka being a really good marine, of course she wouldn't make that much sound. But I do also love that we had a splash sound, like a splash effect, which kind of contradicts the line a little bit. Not a critique. I just think it's a little funny. I do still appreciate it though. It was great. It's still great. Look at the clouds. The fluffy clouds just, drifting past. That one kind of looks like... Am I really going to be, talking about the shapes of the clouds in the background here? Because this kind of looks like... it went behind Seyka, but, this one reminds me, back here reminds me of, one of those, little magic worms. Little nose. This has, this is, a hat right here with, a heart on it. And then this is, kind of one of those test tube thingies, but it also has, a face in it. Look at it. Or, actually, it's disguising a UFO. Whoops! I went past the other one. I got distracted. She hops on and frees her boat, and Aloy takes that as her signal to start off. She calls her Sunwing, and moments later they're in the air. Aloy follows the data, gaze swirling back and forth. She sees in the distance where they'd been attacked just a day ago. It feels more like a lifetime ago. Like some other ancestor and marine had been ambushed by this terror of the seas. Aloy thinks they pretty much were different people, but not ones who resolved everything that needed saying. We have to do this, to protect everyone passing through here, to put this nightmare to rest, and to finally try and move forward, wherever that may lead. The signal strengthens, and Aloy adjusts course. Oh, worm? Yeah. Very much worm, yeah. You pick up on that? I do. We're getting close. Be ready. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I've been ready for this for weeks now. Keeping an eye on her surroundings, Aloy riffles through her supply bags and retrieves her shredder gauntlet. Far below, trees sway gently in the lazy breeze. Rippling waves catch sunlight and toss it around in dazzling, watery handfuls. By all outward appearances, today looks placid, even pleasant, against the backdrop of so many worms. I'm sorry. Of decimated buildings. I'm sorry, I had my chance to take it, I took it. I did it. Decimated buildings. No matter what, just keep moving. Never stop for anything. I'll cover you the whole time. Likewise on both counts. I got your 6. I won't let that machine get away when it realizes it's losing. My ropecaster has some helpful surprises to take this thing down. Aloy thinks about the logistics of that, wondering how in the world Seyka plans on pinning the Dreadmaw down from her tiny skiff. Then a bigger wave crests against the expanse of blue, running parallel to the shore, a different beach from yesterday's attack, and there's no time for anything else but action. Hey, let's go! The Dreadmaw barrels forward, and Aloy's stomach lurches as she follows its path and sees Seyka's skiff right in its sights. The Sunwing swoops down, wind roars in Aloy's ears as the machine and rider plummet for the water, pulling up just in time for Aloy to throw a combusted disc towards the Dreadmaw. It misses, soaring by and circling back as the Dreadmaw opens wide and unleashes a torrent of purge water directly at Seyka. Seyka turns the skiff sharply. The jet collides with the side of her vessel, missing Seyka, but sending the skiff spilling dangerously away. Hi, Courage! Aloy fires another round. Just, you can hear the sound of her pulling it back and then it releasing. That's so cool. Though this one cuts across the machine's face. The Dreadmaw follows the projectile's path right back to Aloy. Come on, what's the matter? Too far for you, coward? She surges the Sunwing forward as she throws another disc. The hot blast of a laser slices inches from her arm as she swerves. weaving up and down even as she circles around the machine. Seyka shoots at the Dreadmaw with her rope caster. Again, the bolt lodges deep between armor plates. The Dreadmaw splashes around in protest. Aloy uses the distraction to aim for its mouth, but that's when it disappears beneath the water. Seyka, let go of that line! Even as she yells it, Aloy dives for her, throwing herself forward so she is practically lying flat atop the Sunwing, becoming a machine herself driven by a code written to her very essence, with eyes only for Seyka. I won't let you take her! Seyka lets the line go, but not before the skiff sways dangerously. Aloy soars over Seyka, and for a moment their eyes meet. In that instant, Seyka's eyes widen, her mouth open in a small O. Aloy can't see the riot of emotions playing across her own face. She can only feel the flood of worry and care driving her forward to see Seyka kept safe, and it's all on display from Seyka. Oh, 1 second. Courage, what are you doing over there? Don't do that. Come back here. Can't you see the girls are fighting a Dreadmaw? Can't you see that? It's dangerous. I'm sorry, give me a moment. My cat is, I think, trying to take one of my frames down. What are you doing? Then Seyka's eyes look past Aloy and fill with horror. Look out! Aloy doesn't even let herself look around. She obeys immediately, turning the Sunwing into a twisting arc up and away. Hey, battle couple! Then the world erupts into chaos. The Dreadmaw rears up suddenly, bursting from the water with all the rage and power of the ocean itself. Aloy briefly sees the Dreadmaw ready another volley, but in a blink the world is tumbling around her. She can't tell if the next attack ever made contact. All she knows is a violent lurch, emptiness where her Sunwing had been. Open air, falling, falling. She barely has enough time to take a breath before she hits the surface of the water. A jolt runs through Aloy's whole body, and she bites back a yelp. Her survival instincts knowing that she needs to do all she can to preserve what little oxygen she has in her lungs. No, not again! We can't put her through this again. She can't drown again. She's got trauma. She's gonna freak out. She might freak out. Aloy's a survivor. She could do this. But will Seyka save her? Her eyes, reflexively squeezed shut, blink open, the salt water causing them to sting. Ouchie! No, that's not fun. Her vision is blurry at first, nothing but blotchy shapes forming in front of her eyes as she treads water. There's an eerie silence, the dark liquids swirling around her, absorbing the noises from above. I hope no one watching has thalassophobia. That sounds unpleasant. She blinks again, but has barely enough time to take in the bottomless depths below her when a deep mechanical rumble echoes around her, reverberating against her ribs and sending a bolt of horror straight to her gut. Ah, that's terrifying. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh, that's a really good shot. That's so good. Look at this. The glowing red eyes. The action and movement of Aloy in the water as she sees it. The glow from the eye is also just kind of like a lighting on Aloy's face and it's lighting her up. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. I love this. The Sunwing in the distance over there. Frantically swirling about her, she finds her form illuminated by the glowing blood-red eyes of the Dreadmaw, heading straight for her, mouth open as it lets out another roar of anger. She freezes. Memories, dark, horrifying memories, come pouring back into her mind like a tidal wave. The deep water, those red eyes, the pain, the fear. She feels her chest tightening, the little air she has left in her lungs, threatening to leave through her mouth in an exclamation of fear. The Dreadmaw draws nearer now. No, not the sound of grinding! I'm at the dentist. I'm at the dentist. No. Oh, that's not great. That's so freaking scary. Oh, the Dreadmaw draws nearer now, close enough for Aloy to see the spinning circular blades in his gaping jaws. She needs to move. She needs to get out of here. By All Mother, the 10, whatever deity was out there, why isn't she moving? Don't ask me. It's called the freeze response. Aloy. No, don't cry. It's okay. No crying. No sad faces. Okay, no, you know what? I can't tell you that not to be having a sad face. This is a dangerous, crazy situation. It's scary. Oh gosh. Courage, are you stuck? Come here. Aloy feels the cracked spike's encroaching grasp, ready to ensnare her and drag her down, down into the lonely dark she used to run to herself. No, no, not the cracked spike. The Dreadmaw. It's the Dreadmaw that has come for her this time, to punish her for yet another failure. Oh, that's not healthy, Aloy. Fear, fear, fear! Has she ever stopped feeling it? The way hunters quaver before a thunderjaw. Aloy has fled from one after another gesture of friendship. She's chased the nothingness, and here the nothingness is to, she chased the nothingness, and here the nothingness is to, and here the nothingness has come to retrieve her. The water is dancing above her, glad for her company. But this isn't her home anymore. Seyka burns brighter and warmer, a tempest that will always conquer the waves, who march through the walls Aloy cast up with stubborn defiance. Aloy is not destined for the lonely dark. Seyka carries the feeling of home that the matriarchs never wanted her to know. Well, not all the matriarchs, but okay, we're not gonna do that. The home the matriarchs never wanted her to know. Just then, a shadow passes overhead, the familiar whir of Seyka's skiff, temporarily blocking out the sound of the incoming Dreadmaw and breaking her out of her state of panic. I need more water. Oh my gosh. I'm drowning too right now. That's what's happening. Her lungs burning, screaming for air. She finally moves her frozen limbs and makes a frantic break for the surface, the roar of the Dreadmaw filling her ears. Aloy finally breaks the surface, taking in several desperate gasps of air. Before she has time to think, she feels herself being grabbed and swiftly dragged up and out of the water. She tumbles onto the deck of Seyka's skiff and lays there, panting and coughing as she tries to desperately calm her thudding heart. Aloy! By the ancestors, are you okay? Aloy blinks the water from her eyes, in time to see Seyka's form leaning over her, her eyes wide with concern. Aloy swallows. Excuse me. Trying to... Great! No! Ow! Okay. The cat wants attention. Ow! Okay, give me a second. We're gonna... What time is it? It's been about an hour. I'm gonna take a quick break. The cat would like me to... Ow! Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back, okay? I'm like right in the middle of the scene, but like, I'll be right back. Hello, hello! I am back. Thank you for your patience. The cat just wanted to go outside real quick. Actually, one second, let me adjust something real quick. Alrighty, let's do this thing. Let's finish off the fight. Oh, this is so exciting. I do love it. It's so great. Ailey blinks the water from her eyes in time to see Seyka's form leaning over her, her eyes wide with concern. Ailey swallows, trying to shake off the residual fear clinging to her skin. I think so. Ooh, the way she closes her eyes really tight and opens them again. Yes, kitty cat. My cat Courage wanted to go outside to the garage. She needed the she needed the litter box. Uh, she coughs again, her breath uneven as the back of her throat burns. Seyka visibly relaxes and opens her mouth to speak, but the familiar roar of the dreadmaw cuts her short. She scrambles back to the helm, the skiff lurching as she turns the wheel and accelerates away from the oncoming machine. Hold on! The water begins to bubble around them, the surface darkening as the dreadmaw begins its descent. At the last moment, Seyka sends the skiff zipping to the left, the side of the craft barely missing the machine's dorsal fin as it breaks the surface. Ooh! It shook the screen. Aloy's fingers dig into the gaps between the planks of wood to steady herself, still trying to catch her breath. Seyka swerves again, and Aloy realizes they're making for a nearby island chain. She props herself up on her elbows and gives Seyka a confused look. What are you doing? She calls out over the rush of the waves. Seyka's brow furrows as she stares intently at the incoming land masses. I'm getting you out of here. I can keep it busy for now while you recover. The skiff swerves again, dodging a short barrage of purge water. Aloy stares at her, then shakes her head. What? No, I'm not leaving you to do this by yourself. I'm fine. Just let me... Aloy, you almost drowned back there. You need to take a moment to rest at least. Again, Aloy shakes her head, a fire reigniting within her to return to the fight. No, Seyka, I'm fine. All I need is to get back on my Sunwing and we can finish what we started. I'm not leaving you to fight this thing by yourself. Seyka looks at her briefly, then lets out a reluctant sigh and turns back around. Fine, but you'll need this. Seyka reaches down briefly and tosses an item her way, which Aloy catches and stares at in surprise. It's her shredder gauntlet, wet and a little dented but still functional. She wants to ask Seyka just how she managed to retrieve it, but finds herself bracing against the deck as a tidal wave knocks the craft sideways. Giving Seyka a nod of thanks, she scrambles to her feet and whistles, a relief flooding her as her thankfully undamaged Sunwing screeches in response, diving out of the clouds high above and down towards her. When she said whistle, I expected the whistle to happen again, the wee. If that happened, it would have scared your cats again, huh, Taco? With one final glance in Seyka's direction, Aloy braces herself and is snatched from the skiff, tossed into the air, and lands back on the back of her Sunwing with practiced ease as she soars back into the sky, back into the fight. Ooh. The music changed. Aloy launches another disc, eyes meeting the crimson hunger of the dreadmaw. Honestly, you're not the only person. I suck at it. The Shredder Gauntlet does do a lot of damage. I just can't aim. I don't super love it either, to be honest. So you're not alone. It's acquired its next target. Aloy pulls her Sunwing up and over the Dreadmaw just as the menace fires at her Shredder Gauntlet. A jet of water rockets towards Aloy, narrowly missing her, but slashing right across her machine's wing. It tears, and the machine lifts to one side. Aloy clings on with a white-knuckle grip, urging it to reorient. It does, but barely. She directs her flight towards the shore. Machine and rider clumsily barrel toward the sand, the Dreadmaw speeding behind. All Aloy can hear is the rush of wind and water. The beach is getting closer, but so is the Dreadmaw. Less and less water between them. She can't fall in again. If you do, you'll end up in the Avatar movie or something. I'm sorry, the wind and water just immediately like fire and water. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Sunwing dips down just in time to skid into the beach. I love the guitar, like, it's like so much more menacing. This is, The Sunwing dips down just in time to skid into the beach, spraying sand everywhere as it slides to a halt. Sparks dance from its injured wing, but Aloy has no time to assess the damage as another spray of water shoots over her head. She wheels round. The Dreadmaw reaches the shore and protracts the blades lining its frontal fins, readying to make a landfall. Behind the Dreadmaw, water arcs up in a great wave as Seyka speeds her skiff towards them both. Aloy! Aloy throws herself off the Sunwing, readying her Shredder Gauntlet. The weapon rattles to life as she draws it back. In the sunlight, the malevolent scarlet glare of the Dreadmaw is no longer all-consuming and ravenous, and Aloy's own eyes narrow with sheer loathing. Crossover fic like Horizon Dawn meets Avatar. Aloy talking with the Na'vi, like with Neytiri. Neytiri and her probably would be nice friends. I think it would be nice. They'd probably bond over bow stuff. Actually, it would probably be really easy to make a crossover fic, considering of how far in the future it is. Oh, would Jake Sully be a... would he be like a living ancestor or something like that? Oh my gosh, because it's so far in the future and people went to the planet, and while they do have contact with Earth, like, it'd be kind of fun to mess with that. I don't know. I'm not even that super into it, but now I'm thinking about it. Like, not super into, like, the Avatar movies. Oh my goodness. At the crack spike, at her own sense of fear, and she loads that fear into the next disc that she sends barreling toward that armored machine. Oh! Alright. That's a big boy. There's a big boy made a real big noise when he landed. The projectile strikes true and grinds into his metal plating on its way a return path to Aloy. I know it's scary, but you know what? It's starting to grow on me. It's kind of cute. But the Dreadmaw isn't slowing down one bit. Neither is Seyka. The Dreadmaw drags itself closer and closer, narrowing the distance even as Aloy aims another attack. She fires, and again it strikes across a chipped plate of armor atop the Dreadmaw's great head. Nice. I'm not making that sound effect. The game did it for me. That's great. Again, her disc returns home, and once more, Aloy fires off a quick shot. Her aim is clumsy, barely sailing into the same spot she's been targeting. See, I'm so bad at that. Like, I know you can aim for the same spot, but I just never can get it to return back and then, like, hit the same spot again because I just suck at it. My friend was like, you gotta optimize it. You just gotta, like... I'm like, I don't know how to optimize it. Maybe I need to spend more time playing Forbidden West, because I only played it the one time, and I played the first game like 4. I need to replay Forbidden West. See if I can like get used to the Shredder Gauntlet. The last strike combusts against the machine's head and sends a huge chunk of armor falling uselessly to the ground. Oh, no! It's the dentist again! The Dreadmaw rears up furiously, towering even for its awkward, lumbering size and movement, all razor-sharp teeth and smothering mass. There's not enough time. Doomed as it feels, Aloy prepares to fire. Clang! Seyka, feet planted in the sands, has her rope caster clutched tight, aimed right for the machine. A long cable leads from her weapon across the wet sands and into the top of the Dreadmaw's head. Seyka slams the anchor into the ground and sprints off. She barely looks as she fires off another bolt. It spears right through a flipper. The Dreadmaw bellows in protest as dorsal fin lights up and aims right for Seyka and her rope caster. Seyka dives out of the way rather than fire off another shot. The air crackles with energy as she sprints, and Aloy flings another projectile at the Dreadmaw, this time striking its dorsal fin. Eesh! The disc strikes the laser just as the Dreadmaw fires. The beam fires wildly away from Seyka, and blue-white sparks dance, a faint echo of light under the beating sun. The laser is barely hanging on by a tangle of exposed wires, and in the confusion, Aloy flings another disc at the fin. It misses, but slices into a cracked armor plate with a hair-raising screech. The plating tumbles uselessly to the ground. The Dreadmaw rounds on Aloy. It shuffles awkwardly, furiously forward, one fin still harpooned. Behind it, Seyka fires. A bolt plunges the blade into a sack of purge water lining the Dreadmaw's belly. It cuts through easily, and the sack bursts with a great wave. Seyka yells as she's tossed back. The Dreadmaw lurches forward, opening its maw. A set of blades whirl hungrily between its jaws. Aloy scrambles back as the Dreadmaw drags itself closer, its path sloppy, uneven, until it's brought to a stop as the many anchors piercing its body tug stubbornly at its cracked metal shell. I kind of love the sound of screeching metal. Again, so well made. Aloy readies another disc. She backs up step by step, matching the Dreadmaw's weakened shuffle. Seyka drags herself to her feet and takes up her rollcaster once more. She's staggering, but every step seems to energize her. The Dreadmaw tries to fire off more laser blasts, only for them to list this way and that. Seyka is wholly focused on sprinting onward, skirting the Dreadmaw's side. She fires at the Dreadmaw's opposite flipper and slams the anchor deep into the ground. Now's our chance. They're flanking the Dreadmaw now, both weapons poised. The two warriors move in synchronized strides, poised and confident, deadly and unbeatable. The Dreadmaw sways, parts sparking everywhere. It opens its mouth and tries to shoot more purge water. Its inner parts groan in protest, sand grinding into useless burst sacks across its stomach. Ooh, it's taking damage. It's starting to look kind of bloodied. Well, it's a machine. You can't say bloodied. I'm sorry. I'm doing the D&D thing. I just did a D&D session today this morning, so... With a roar, the Dreadmaw throws itself towards Seyka. A metallic sort of ripping sound shrieks through the air as it tears its own flipper to free itself from the ropecaster bolts. The wire swings through the air as it breaks loose. The Dreadmaw lurches again, right for Seyka. Seyka scrambles back and shoots another bolt. It lodges right in the exposed patch at the crown of the Dreadmaw's head. From the harpoon dangles an explosive canister. Ooh! Seyka's eyes find Aloy's. Something achingly vulnerable shimmers in her dark gaze, wanting, but too fearful to dare hope. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. Another Shredder Gauntlet to the face! Look at that. I love this shot. Oh my gosh. Aloy feels as though she can fly wingless right beside her sunwing as she leaps forward and swings her arm out in a great arc. The disc soars forward, launching itself at the distracted target. It strikes the canister. The air explodes with the force of the blow. Lights dance before Aloy's eyes as the ammo combusts right on top of the Dreadmaw. Sparks and fire and metal burst from the machine like a morbid imitation of fireworks, and for one wild instant, Aloy is reminded of Morland's ornaments. Aloy ducks as a bit of debris fly in all directions and beyond the Dreadmaw. Aloy hears Seyka give a shout as she does the same. Quickly, Aloy focuses back on the Dreadmaw and sees only a great empty husk smoldering on the beach. Oh, whoa! It's over! It's finally over. It's dead! We did it? It's done? Ailey nods as Seyka stumbles over. It is! It is! Seika's pace slows, her eyes wide as she stares tremulously, her whole body thrumming with energy and disbelief and timid hope. It really is! We did it! We really did it! She paces around the shell of what had nearly been the bane of the Quen. You hear that? You've done terrorizing my people, my sister, my friends, my commander. Ailey and I will never have to fear you again. You lost! She takes several steadying breaths, hunching over with hands on her knees. She straightens with a deep sigh Ailey can feel deep in her own chest. You really did it. Seyka seems to remember herself, and with no small difficulty drags herself from her outrage, her shock. It leaves her looking fatigued. I mean, I'd be tired if I just fought a huge monster and it took that long to bring it down, and it was like, ugh. See, living in the Horizon world is sounds fun, looks fun, but like, wow, having to fight machines all the time doesn't sound like fun. It's fun in the game, but even when I'm fighting, I swear to God, the other day I was playing Horizon, and it was the first Horizon in the part where we're in Meridian. You know that part where there's a Stormbird, and then there's like a Ravager and a Snapmaw, and they're all in the same area, and if you're just walking around, the freaking Stormbird will just see you, and it's stressful because you just run into the other machines as you're trying to fight off the Stormbird. It's stressful. Some poor Meridian soldiers were like just walking past, and I remember Taco was watching me, and he was like, and we turned back and we're like, oh, whoops, they died. I I guess I better report to Admiral Jarrett, huh? Jarrett? Seyka. She places a hand gently on her shoulder. And the last person to discourage running off to the next destination. Ailey can just imagine the look Varl would give her if he heard this. But like you said, we did it. You did it. You accomplished your mission, your people are safe, and countless others looking to make this big journey won't be in danger of this thing anymore. Just pause for one moment. I think your Admiral gets a rundown of what happened. We should regroup. I think before your Admiral, we should regroup. I guess I can't say I disagree. Tactical. Man, I wish Varl lived. She's like, yeah, I can't say I disagree. Tactical. I'm sorry, I don't want to say the joke I was thinking. Because it's so dumb. Oh my gosh. And probably overdue that we talk. You think? Uh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Seyka looks at Ayla expectantly. It's the same expression she's worn before, one full of anticipation, at once hopeful and fearful. The shimmering vulnerability there does nothing to dull the intensity of Seyka's captivating gaze. She's got pretty eyes. It's that same expression that time and again caused an unfamiliar lurch in Aloy's stomach, setting her thoughts and nerves alight in an unalluring way. Had her resolve wavered, she might have fled those looks in the past. Now she feels none of that, only a thrilling resolve to see this through. They pace slowly away from the water, both disheveled but triumphant. Seyka winces slightly as she moves. She peels away the hem of her shirt to reveal colorful bruising beginning to form. Ouchies! Oh, that sounds like it hurts. That looks painful. Let me see what I can do to help. We both took some pretty bad hits. Couple swings of Bilge Blast and it'll be good as new. Couple swigs. Swigs or swings? Swigs. But, if you insist, who am I to tell you no? An ancestor tending to my injuries. That's the stuff of legends. Later. You're she'll do more than tend to your injuries, alright. Sorry. But later. You were right. I do need a moment after all this. Collecting my thoughts, say what needs saying. She turns to face Aloy fully. Although, maybe a big celebration like this, we should wrap up properly. What do you say to getting us up to that tall neck again? This time without a machine hanging over us. I didn't get to appreciate any of the view. The view, you say? Any of the view, you say? Go back, and it turns out the whole time she was just staring at Aloy's ass. It's like, oh my god, do you see that? What? The tall neck on top of it. Do you see that? What do you mean? Oh my god, what are they doing? I'm sorry. It's broad daylight. Yeah, exactly, Balchik. Wow. She eyes Aloy appraising. Yeah, Balchik. Wow, yeah. I'd say I knew you would see the appeal. You know that means flying again, right? Today is just full of surprises, I guess. Yes, fine, Aloy. I want to fly up there. Just had to hear it. Let's go. Oh, there's the whistle! There's the whistle! They fall into step beside one another, and in one seamless motion, Seyka has laced her fingers through Aloy's. A gasp catches in Aloy's throat, but she quickly covers by whistling for her sunwing. You're not subtle, Aloy! Over the clamor of the machine's clumsy landing, Aloy hears Seyka let out a breathless laugh. Mirth tumbles from Aloy's lips too, tremulous, shocked from the day's events. One more surprise? There's always at least one point of contact between them as they mount the sunwing. Aloy's hand on Seyka's hip. Seyka's fingers clasp around Aloy's forearm. It's almost dizzying how aware Aloy feels of Seyka, as though they are two parts of the same unstoppable machine. And then Seyka's arms wrap instinctively around Aloy, and Aloy can't imagine how she'd ever felt secure on this thing without that grounding hold around her. Are you sure? Because that look on your face makes me think you're gonna fall right off. She doesn't bother fighting back a grin as the sunwing takes off, and she swears she can feel Seyka doing the same against her shoulder blade. Oh, she's just like lying her face against your back? That's cute. She's gotten quite used to seeing the burning shores, but never before has Aloy so appreciated the misty, gilded light unfurling around the trees, the splashes of dazzling gold speckles, from every crashing wave as the sun meanders slowly down toward the sea. That's pretty. There's our buddy! She loosens her hold around Aloy just enough to point toward the machine loping around a nearby beach. Seyka's newfound excitement is infectious, and Aloy urges her sunwing over. That Aloy can hear Seyka's giddy energy closer than ever is not lost on her, and it takes more than a little effort to remember to keep a hold on the sunwing's cables, and to breathe. This time, it's Seyka who hops down first, quickly righting herself to throw up a cheeky grin at Aloy. Aww. Hurry up! Aloy laughs and does as she's bid, landing a bit more steadily than Seyka had. She meets her eyes with a surety, standing proud and tall and triumphant. Show off. I think you'll be doing this a lot more from now on. I'll admit, this is pretty incredible. All the rules we've broken, battles we fought. This is something else completely. It's so free up here. Like anything is possible. You've more than proven anything is possible, Seyka. You took this battle on all by yourself. I'm not taking all the credit. I say fighting beside a living ancestor has to count for something, right? See, like, she keeps poking at it. I was wondering if Aloy was gonna get, a bit weird about it. She's teasing you, obviously. But I wonder if Ayla's at some point is just gonna be like, please stop calling me that. Ayla tenses, but Seyka's expression remains tender as ever. Seyka, I'm not really. Hey, I know. She steps. They're gonna kiss. They're gonna kiss! She steps closer, hands drawn like a magnetic force to Aloy once again. This time, Aloy meets her in the middle, as if it's a secret exchange they've shared their whole lives. Call and response of a dance perfected with abundant practice. No, no, you don't. Not fully, anyway. When I say I'm just Aloy, I mean it. As much as possible. I was made to be a genetic copy of Elizabeth, but I've learned better than ever there's more to it than that. Similarities, they stop after a point. It's almost like other people being children of their parents. My sister and I are both like this. But we're not from the old world. I am from this world. Your world. I want to be where the people. I can't sing Disney songs. I can't do it. The mouse is going to shoot me. He's gonna get me. It sounds complicated. And like a lot of messy realities you had to figure out on your own. It has been. Exactly. I know you've been confused and hurt, and I should have been straightforward with you. Should have trusted you with his knowledge from the start, just like with the threat of Nemesis. But it was a lot of stuff about me I barely figured out about myself. I had no time, and then everything about me just came down to unlocking doors and taming rogue sub-functions. That's so much to deal with. Yeah. And when I finally got my footing, suddenly I felt, with you, something totally new and different and amazing. I've never met anyone like you, just Aloy. So this is pretty new for me too. I guess I have some stuff to learn about how to handle all this too. Seyka's smile is a small, fragile thing, the last crystals of ice before the first thaw. But the sincerity behind it is enough to knock the wind out of Aloy faster than a rampaging. I need to breathe. Ugh. Aloy faster than a rampaging tremor tusk. See, I forgot the name of that machine. I forgot that, and that's the elephant. Aloy feels intoxicated with it, as though this rush of affection might combust and leave no room for anything else. A fierce, joyful force that wants and wants and wants. I've been thinking. You heard from the diviner Alva what had been bothering me. You knew my thoughts probably wouldn't be in a great place, but you still came. On a pretty foolish mission. I really couldn't have done it without you. And still you wanted to help. Even after your last bout with an aquatic machine. Everything you did, it took a lot of courage. Courage? Ah, courage, my cat. No, sorry. Where was her courage when icy tendrils of fear seized the breath from her chest, ready to drag Aloy back to the cracked spike of ocean away? Or when the Dreadmaul's watery red glare glowed to life behind her closed lids? It's okay to be scared, Aloy! You almost drowned! It's okay! It's a good thing you had Seyka there with you. You weren't alone. That's the whole point. That's what Varl taught you, what the others taught you, and Seyka's teaching you the same thing. You'll be fine. Or even now, standing heartbeat. That's so loud. I accidentally went forward. Okay, wait. Or even now, standing before Seyka, while her every nerve feels ready to quake amidst the trembling of her heart. So often lately, Aloy has felt fearful. They're so cute. Look at them. But fear has not kept her away. Hell yeah, Aloy! And here is Seyka, admiring what Aloy resents about herself, telling Aloy she's had the courage the whole stumbling way. And perhaps Aloy can be brave one more time. You gotta kiss her. Kiss her. You gotta do it. You did it once. I think I figured out how to handle one thing. Hey! Oh my gosh! Kiss! Kiss, you fools! That's so cute. Look at that. And then the glow of the tall neck. Honestly, who knew a tall neck could be so romantic? I do love the thought of like, oh, let's go to the top of the tall neck. Though I do really think this is funny because like someone on the skiff called like just is floating by and goes like, "Is that a living ancestor kissing Seyka?" Imagine the rumors that would spread. That'd be so fun. So, oh, this is so cute though. Ooh. I love the glow of the tall neck. And in the span of a heartbeat, Ailey closes the remaining distance between them and draws Seyka into a kiss. With less surety until they find their home, her hands land at Seyka's hips. Only once before has Ailey been so close to someone, to Seyka, and it lets her hear and feel Seyka's soft gasp, as if it's her very own breath. Ailey is treated to a flashing glimpse of the sunset amber of Seyka's widening eyes. Before there is no Aloy and Seyka. There is just them, here at that intersection of two heartbeats drumming as one. There's only softness. The gentle caress of lips Aloy is just a bit more familiar with now. The graceful curve of Seyka's hips cradled between her hands, content even under the faint twitches of uncertainty Aloy cannot hide, even as the world narrows to the woman before her. For a moment, Seyka seems too stunned to do anything. When she regains her ability to move, she swiftly draws her arms up around Aloy. One hand cradles the back of Aloy's head, the other lands squarely at Aloy's back, an anchor in the almost incredible tempest battering at her elated heart. A hand on her head quickly entangles into the curtain of fiery braids, carding gently, curling just so, seeking proximity and never finding enough. Oh. Ailey only draws away when her lungs begin crying out in protest. When she does, she's treated to the sight of an utterly shocked Seyka, cheeks delightfully flushed, eyes wide and shimmering. Get a room? Wow! They did get a well. They didn't get a room. They got a tall neck. They got a tall neck. What? After everything, that's what shocks you? Well, yeah. Managing to surprise you? That sounds pretty great. Never thought I'd. Two sway as the tall neck turns. Both women tighten their hold on each other. Their eyes meet and laughter bubbles from both of them. What's the matter? Thought you didn't mind a little water. There's admittedly been a bit too much of that. Seyka looks around. And it's pretty beautiful up here. She doesn't mean the view. Never mind, sorry. Well, she probably means both. Aloy's gaze drifts from the distant horizon back to Seyka. Her hair a trail of streaming midnight, framing the beating embers of her eyes, and that smile. The sun rises for that smile. Yeah, it is. That is probably boring for you by now, right? No, actually, it just got pretty wonderful. Oh, so you're in uncharted waters. You aren't going to fall off this thing, are you? You wouldn't let that happen, would you? No, I wouldn't. You can trust me. Again, Aloy hears and sees a deeper meaning to Seyka's tone and expression. And this time she does not flee, but faces the gravity of all that's said and unsaid with her head held high. I do trust you. And I'll make sure that's never called into question again. So caught up is Aloy in the sincerity of the sentiment that she's not ready for Seyka's reply. I trust you too, Aloy. Aloy's voice catches in her throat. Unmourned, she's unable to think of any words that might serve to express her gratitude, her gladness, her readiness to make good on the lessons they've both learned. So she opts to once again surprise Seyka. Aloy closes the distance and they kiss once more. Two guided fingers entwined atop the world awash in the sunset hues, painting that infinite expanse where sky and sea meet. A new place beyond the map that might just be home. Aww. Farewells are harder these days, especially this one. As Aloy flies for the base, leaving Seyka behind, her heart lives in her throat. Her mind buzzes in the best possible way. There's a wild, toothy smile that won't leave her face. She is definitely attributing the tears in her eyes to the wind, not her overwhelming joy. Seyka. Her lips seem to tingle with the memory of their kiss. Aloy absently reaches up with one hand to run her fingertips across them, feeling her own unbridled grin beneath her touch. Only makes it spread wider across her face until she has to toss her head back and laugh, overwhelmed with the sheer giddiness of it all. With everything they did together, everything they overcame, physically, emotionally, all of it, Aloy knows that what happened between them at the end was far deeper, far more than just a kiss. It wasn't goodbye. It wasn't a thank you. It was a promise. It was Seika's way of swearing to Aloy that she was there for her, beyond Nemesis, beyond tribal conflicts and politics, beyond favors, beyond herself. There's no question in Aloy's heart, no ambiguity, no wondering of what it meant to Seyka. The fact that her brain isn't jumping through hoops to find a reason to doubt it further crystallizes in her mind that her heart is right. That will not be their last kiss. I mean, the first one wasn't either. You had two more. Jeez, greedy, aren't you? No, I'm joking. She drops from the sunwing and glides down to the base's entrance. Hey! We finished a route! I think I got a good ending. Yee! A gush of warm air greets her as she enters and floats to the common area, where Beta is going over data while nibbling on brightly colored fruit. Her head lifts as Aloy enters, and for a moment she looks confused. That's when Aloy realizes she's still grinning. Instead of stifling it, she lets out a laugh and goes over to where Beta is working. Welcome home? Thanks. She picks up a piece of sliced fruit from the plate before Beta takes a bite, peering at the data over Beta's shoulder. Aloy, anything exciting happened when I was gone? Well, Silence said he found a company in the northeast, around some big lakes. I could have useful data. You have to fly to get there, though. Sounds like a lead. Beta blinks slowly at Aloy, gears turning behind her eyes. She can practically see her working out the story in her head. And maybe she's teasing her a little too much? But is it wrong to enjoy it? When you left here, you went and saw Seyka. I did. At this, Beta's eyes light up, the pieces coming together. And? Did anything happen? She thinks of Seyka, her face filling Aloy's mind. She thinks of the trust she has in her. She thinks of what they shared and confessed in the intimacy of the two of them, and no one else. She thinks of the happiness that washed over her when they kissed, the euphoria that she carried with her all the way to the base. Yeah, I did it! Thank you! She thinks of the unspoken promise. She will always be there for Aloy. That she has someone in her corner now, for her. Someone who understands her, who wants her, who will fight for her, not simply fight for her. She thinks of their lips pressed together one last time before she left for home. But not the last time. Did anything happen? Yes. Aww, little flashback back to the kiss. The end. Oh, that's so sweet. Beta, I'm like, Beta's like, hey, like, you okay? You kind of went away for a moment there. You can't. Oh, that's so great. I finished her route. And I think I got a good ending too. Cauldron Heart. Woo! Kittle Skittle, the game lead. We're gonna watch the credits. Narratively, DD. Sorry if I mispronounce any of these names. Art lead, nerd artist. Audio lead, med decision, Mel decision. Community manager, core. Alva team. Team lead, Jack Sora Rootsoot. Sprite artist, Maggie Rose. Writers, Dino Kieran, Jax Sora Rootroot. Oh my gosh. So I think okay, so like when I did start the game a while back. I didn't finish the game. I didn't actually like go really far into it. I remember the last time I started with Aaron's route, and I only did like maybe a minute of it. Like I landed in Meridian is how far I got. And so I kind of like I think I'm gonna go for Aaron next because I know I started there last time, and I really want to go and like do the route. In part because like when I wasn't like into Aaron and like Aloy at first in the first game, but after replaying the first game, he grew on me. And then when I got to Forbidden West and how Aloy lit up when she saw him, I'm like, I really want to see his route then. So I'm gonna do that. yeah, I'm gonna do that one next. How? What time is it? Like, how long have I been streaming for? Almost 2 hours, honestly. Honestly, that was like straight up like very perfect because I've been streaming about 2 hours each time, and Seyka only took me 2 times 3, 6 hours total. That's nice. Honestly, it including my times that I've paused and taken breaks, but like it's like perfect. Yeah, honestly, like I saw your name on it, so like honestly, you and everyone else did a wonderful job. I've only seen Seyka's route so far and a little bit of Aaron's, but oh my gosh, it's beautiful and I love it, and I can't wait to play the next route. We'll let the credits finish, and I'll probably end up ending stream. I might start streaming again in maybe an hour, maybe, because I might go back to Rivals and keep playing competitive. Oh my goodness. Look at all this art. The music, all the sprites, all the movement, the art. I just love, like, I really enjoy how much passion this went into this project. Ah! The same, I didn't realize that the same artist did for the nil route is the same artist who does, like, the base art, but now I'm, like, realizing that. I'm sorry, I saw a Root and I was like, wait, isn't someone named Root in the chat? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to expose you, but I put two and two together. Whoops. But yeah, thank you for watching the stream, though. Again, your efforts are really, really cool and like appreciated. All of this is so amazing. Petra. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I might change my mind, but if I do Errand, maybe after Errand I might go for Petra. Like, let's just go for, like, Oseram. Oh, but no, I really want to do Talana's route after that, too. We'll flip a coin after Errand. We'll see if I can choose between Petra or Talana. Cute. The Seyka team! Hartleshart and Silk team. Writers Bookmancer and Dino Kieran. Dino Kieran? Why do I keep Dino? Dino Kieran. I'm so sorry. The writing here was very good. I loved a lot of your imagery. That was beautiful. Hunted by the sea. Wait, are these like all the music? I'm like, I did not see what it said right there. Beautiful. Talana! This, oh my gosh. Oh, I kind of love the scarring on her abdomen. I'll probably still gush about that once I see it again. Oh, the Meridian music. I know the music isn't exactly like the Meridian music, but I do like that they kept the motif in there. Honestly, I think the Meridian music is some of my favorite, like from the soundtrack. Oh, it's a glint hawk. Also, I love the creativity behind the Dreadmaw. Do we see anything come about of the crack spike route? I'm assuming that something with that, like a resolution with that, happens if I do all the routes, because it was addressed, but it wasn't fully like explored. So I'm imagining it's like an extra story that comes from like unlocking everything, probably. So I can't wait to see that. Also, I haven't been streaming as much this week. The 2 weeks ago, I was streaming rather often, but after the tournament that I had and the busy week I had, honestly, I was like not in the mood to stream, because oh, you do like gaming is great, but like just talking and being entertaining. What is that? Am I spoiling myself? What is that design? Prologue and epilogue writing. Nice. Core, gym stick, kittle skittle. Is that the crack spike? Should I? I got spoiled for something, maybe. Oh, really? Aw. Well, honestly, it's alright. I think it does give a lot of flavor, and I did enjoy it anyway, and it does kind of like flesh out like Aloy's arc throughout the route. So I still very much enjoy it. I'm not like too unhappy about that. That's actually that's all right because there's already like so much work put into it, and I can't imagine how that would work out adding that into it. Because I don't know the first thing about like making a video game. Honestly, I was telling my boyfriend the other day like maybe I should make a video game myself. It'd probably be like a text thing. Um, but I need to finish so many projects. I still have this long fic that I need to finish. Made by fans, for fans. Oh, I loved it. That was great. Can't wait to play Aaron's route next week. Oh, that's so cute! Look at everyone's signatures. Everyone who worked on it. Thank you for playing. Thank you for making the game. It was a delight, and I can't wait to experience the rest of it. Oh wow. Thank you for playing. On behalf of all of us at Cauldron Heart, thank you for playing Focus on the Heart. We hope you enjoyed your experience. Photo mode is unlocked and is accessible from the main menu. In addition, if this is your first time achieving this ending, new photo mode poses for Aloy and the character whose route you completed are now available for use. To unlock the rest of the poses for each character, explore each route and discover more endings. Oh, really? That's awesome! A photo mode? Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. Photo mode. Base common Aloy Seyka. None? Oh, okay. Oh, you can change it. Beta 2, Beta 3. Hi. Oh my gosh. Seyka 3. Oh, and then like. Oh, that's cute. And then you can just do whatever? Oh, I might be spoiling myself. This is really pretty background. Sunken cave. Ooh, Oseron. Ah, I love it. I love it. And then here in the photo album, because I looked at this earlier. For Seyka. Yeah, there's all the photos of everything. You can just go back and enjoy it whenever I like. Oh, that's beautiful. That's really nice. Again, I really super appreciate like the design of the Dreadmaw. This is so cool. And I'm so sad that that's not gonna like that's probably not gonna be a canon thing. I wonder if they'll have a version of like a whale in the in the third game. Because we have like a Loch Ness monster with the Tide Ripper. I forget. And then the burrowers are the only other aquatic machine that I remember we had in um, Forbidden West. Oh my gosh! Again, this I don't like. I don't know. I always have like a soft spot for glowing bits. Like I love the like atmosphere here of the end, like just the glow around them. Just a boom! Like that's great. That's so great. I can't wait to see everything else. All right. Thank you again for joining the stream. It's been a wonderful night. And I'll see you all again next week, Saturday, where I will begin the errand route. Alright. Have a nice night, everyone. Good night.